日本時間5月6日、米国時間5月5日に行われたロサンゼルス、ドジャース対ヒューストン、アストロズ戦で大谷翔平が投手専念という異例の形で先発登板した。打撃不振が続く中、デーブ・ロバーツ監督は大谷を指名打者から外し、完全に投球へ集中させる決断を下した。その期待に応えるように、大谷は初回から160キロ超の直球を連発。ホセ・アルトゥーベを圧倒し、球場を支配した。しかし2回、クリスチャン・ウォーカーに特大本塁打を浴びると、3回にも被弾。それでも崩れなかった。最大の見せ場は5回だった。西1、3塁の大ピンチで、大谷は今季最速 162.5 キロを計測。最後は MLB の起動システムすら捉えきれなかった高速スイーパーでアルトゥーベを空振り三振に仕留め、雄たけびを上げた。大谷は7回89球、8奪三振2失点の力投。約3年ぶりとなる7回投球を成し遂げ、防御率も0点台を維持した。しかし、打線は大谷不在の影響を隠せず完全沈黙。ドジャースは1、2で敗れ、大谷は孤独な敗戦投手となった。試合後の分析番組とドジャース関係者のインタビューでは、打者を失ったドジャースの苦しさ、そして大谷一人では救えない現実が大きな話題となっている。ぜひ続きもご覧いただきたい。
Hello and welcome to Access Sportsnet Dodgers, brought to you by Mercury Insurance. John Hartung alongside Jerry Hairston Jr., Nomar Garciaparra. Just when we thought that the Dodgers bats had figured things out and started to heat up, the 8 runs last night, they managed just 1 run tonight in Houston against Peter Lambert, a guy who did not have good numbers in his career against the Dodgers, an ERA of 10 in 7 career games, but he went out there, absolutely dominated the Dodgers tonight, Jerry, and spoiled another really good outing from Shohei Ohtani for 7 innings.
You don't want to take anything away from that young man, Peter Lambert. He went out there, and you mentioned it, John. I mean, there's no other way to put it. He dominated this Dodger lineup. Really good fastball command, great changeup as well. He did feature a cutter, kept the Dodgers off balance. That was the story. Shohei Ohtani was awesome. 2 solo home runs should not beat you, especially when you pitch 7 innings in that ballpark. Just disappointing from the offense.
Yeah, disappointing is definitely the key word there, because you're disappointed that you squandered such a tremendous outing by Shohei Ohtani. I mean, yeah, you give up 2 solo, but that's fine. That happens, but I'd rather be solo. But for him to go that deep in the game, the way he was efficient, he was attacking hitters, he did everything he was supposed to do. And the offense, once again, it was just really, really disappointing. Like, as you mentioned, you don't take anything away from Lambert, but at the same time, there wasn't too many adjustments over the course of this game. I mean, and I think that's what's so disappointing, is just trying to find a way, try to adjust to go, okay, this guy, whether he's dealing or not, but trying to figure out a way, like, listen, we got to find a way to battle, get these runs, get something going in order to help your pitcher, who is outstanding.
And Nomar, you talk about it all the time, getting the timely hits and situational hitting. Dodgers went 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. They were 0 for 7 until Kyle Tucker came through late in this game with a base hit, but they just weren't able to do much of anything against Lambert.
No, and I think that's also disappointing, because you also have so many opportunities. I mean, by contrast, you have the Astros, who had 2 solo home runs, but they only had 1 at bat. They were 0 for 1 with runners in scoring position, so they weren't really creating a whole lot. When you look at, as far as creating opportunities, it was the Dodgers who created more opportunities than the Astros, but they didn't capitalize on that. They weren't, there were certain pitches they were taking down the middle. There were pitches that they should have hit that they missed, that they didn't square up. So I think that's probably what's just so frustrating. It's one thing if, he did his job, he kept them off balance, and obviously put shutout innings up there, but I think there were pitches that were definitely hittable that the Dodgers would look back and hitters would say, gosh, how'd I miss that? Pop that one up, whatever it may be, or I just missed it. There were a few like that. And then I think there were other ones where you're going, okay, what was I looking for? Because that seemed like a pitch that was hittable that I took for a strike. As compared, when you look at Shohei was just dotting off balance here and there, made a mistake. Yeah, they capitalized, but still was coming back and was just kind of pitching. It was a little bit different. But yeah, just from the offense collectively, they have to figure out something, just whatever it may be, to kind of get them going. We thought yesterday's game was going to do it, but obviously it didn't.
Yeah, and I think that's the most disappointing part. You thought that coming into tonight's ball game, you're going to go out and do your thing, especially after last night, guys feeling good, feeling healthy. But the theme, runners in scoring position, you've got to be able to shorten up and be able to put a good swing on the baseball. Now, I know we've talked about this recently. there's a difference between going up there hunting pitches, like looking for a pitch, as opposed to guessing. You know, here, this ball's hit hard. That ball's hit hard by Miggy Rowe. He gets his fastball. He puts a good swing on a baseball. And sometimes when you get runners in scoring position, you got to go two-strike approach right away to make sure you put a barrel on a baseball to give yourself a chance to drive the run in. I guess it's just so disappointing. I know the guys in the clubhouse are really disappointed because, like Nomar touched on it, this is the second time in a row that Shohei Ohtani has pitched a really good ball game. And a ball game, if you score 3 or 4 runs, you win this ball game, and the last time as well. So it's just disappointing that the offense just didn't show up tonight.
Yeah, especially early on. Early on, you know, that first inning, when you get a man on second base with 1 out, you know, obviously you get man on second base with nobody out, you got to find a way to produce and at least get that run. But 1 out, you're like, okay, top of the lineup. So middle of your lineup trying to find a way, and then the next inning you do the same thing, get a guy on second base, and there's 1 out, and you're like, okay, and still couldn't get anything going. There was another inning where you got bases loaded, but you're like, work that with, and that was all with 2 outs, which was incredible. But really, I think early on, those couple opportunities there were just missed.
Yeah, second straight time Shohei Ohtani on the mound loses a game 2-1, Jared. But we talked on the pregame show, that last outing, he gave up a season-high 5 hits. He hit a batter. He walked 3 guys. Tonight, he didn't do any of that. He gave up 2 solo home runs, didn't walk anybody, struck out 8. He was really in control the entire time.
And he could have gone out for the 8th inning. He was in control. You know, you tip your hat, Christian Walker, there's the pitch. He ambushes him. Hey, Christian Walker, he's done this a lot of times. It was his 30th home run against the Dodgers.
Yes, yeah.
And here, this is a running fastball. Wait, credit the hitter. He goes the other way, uses the elements of the ballpark. It's a short porch there in left field. But other than that, I mean, complete domination. You have a big league pitcher gives you 7 innings and gives up 2 runs. You have to win that ball game. You have to win that ball game. And I know as a hitter and being in that clubhouse, you know you're sick to your stomach right now.
And you also look at the line with the 8 strikeouts, no walks, but 8 strikeouts and being efficient and under 90 pitches.
Yeah. I think he went out like
you're right. Yeah, I think he could have because the innings weren't as stressful and the way he was efficient and going at it. That tells you he was just going out there and pitching. It wasn't just one way. We know he has the swing and miss stuff, but it wasn't like getting deep in the counts. It wasn't like, okay, now you're on your heels defensively. I mean, he was pounding the zone. He was being efficient. He was striking guys out, also pitching in contact. He was doing it all today.
And here's another thing that we kind of hinted on the pregame show a little bit. I had a feeling we win this ball game. I thought Shohei Ohtani with the day off tomorrow. Day game after he pitched, so he guarantees gets 2 days off and coming home. Now I think Dave's probably going to be forced to play him tomorrow.
Yeah, you got to try to win that series tomorrow on Getaway Day in Houston. But speaking of Shohei Ohtani, let's hear from the big show right now with Kirsten Watson and the media.
Shohei, first, let's just start with, you've talked about wanting to get into the 7th inning. For you to just navigate through them, be very efficient, how did you find just what was working for you and how you were able to get deeper into this game today?
効率よく7回までいけたっていう要因は何でしょうかと。
捉えたのがホームランだったので、はい、それ以外は良かったですけど、逆に言えば1本がこう1点につながるような失投だったのかなと思います。
The hits were homers, so in that sense it was efficient, but something that wasn't ideal.
What do you think led to the 2 hits that were the homers? Did you think it was location? Was it execution?
なんかその要因として打たれた理由としてはホームラン。
どっちも狙ったところと逆だったので、それに尽きるかなとは思いますけど、それでもファウルにならずにしっかりこうインゾーンに収められてはいるので、打った方ももちろん素晴らしかったですし、失投は失投でしたけど、もう少しこういいスポットに投げれば違った結果にはなったのかなと思います。
Just really mislocated through to the area, completely opposite of where I was intending to. You know, if the execution was better, I think it wouldn't have been a homer, but they also put good swings as well.
Shohei, I know you've been very clear about wanting to do what's best for the team and whatever the team decides, but is it hard at all in a tight game like this to not be able to affect it on the offensive side?
チームのことを考えてのそのピッチングだけだと思うんですけども、今日みたいにその接戦の中でバッティングできないっていうちょっと悔しい思いっていうのはありますか？
そうですね。オフェンス、自分も含めてあまり調子は良くないので、 ていうんですか、ピッチングに集中した方がいい結果がチームにとって今は出るんじゃないかなっていう判断だと思いますし、自分の状態が良ければね、打ってほしいっていう状況になるんじゃないかなとは思うので、そこは自分の状態をしっかり、上げていくっていうのがまず初めにやるべきことかなとは思ってます。
I think it's offense, including myself, hasn't done a great job scoring runs. And if there was a situation where, if I was hitting well, I'm sure the team would want me to pitch and hit as well. But I understand in a situation where, hey, just focus on pitching, turn the page on the hitting. I understand that the team is, might think like that.
What do you think has been missing for you offensively? And do you think like the return to full-time pitching might have played a role? Maybe the slump being a little bit longer than usual for you?
一応スランプは続いてるっていうのは、そのピッチングに戻ったっていうのがもう一つの要因なんでしょうかねと。
そうですかね、あまりそうだとは思ってはないですし、時期的に落ちる時期ではもちろんあるので、そのいいところと悪いところを探りながら入ってる、期間っていうのはあんまりよくはないものですけど、それでもあんまりここまでヒットが出ないっていうことはないとは思うので、フォアボール取りながらもしっかり、インフィールドインプレーになった時にいい結果が生まれるためにはしっかりとした構えからしっかりとしたスイングが必要かなと思ってます。
Yeah, I think I don't think so personally that the pitching has been affecting my hitting. But at the same time, it has been a little bit longer than my expectation in terms of the hitting side of things. So, I've been getting on base, which is a good thing. I just want to make sure that the quality of balls in play are better. And, it's not ideal that I'm trying to find that in the game. But, I just have to continue to do what I'm supposed to do.
Maggie, let's just start with Peter Lambert. What were you seeing from him tonight? Was this just one of those nights where you kind of had to tip your cap and he had a really strong outing, or did you find that it was something that the offense was missing?
Yeah, I feel like myself, I have a lot of opportunities with runner on base right there, and I couldn't get the job done tonight. Put a good swing on the ball in the first at bat, and then second at bat, I was kind of like a little in between, and definitely couldn't get the job done. But yeah, the guy was attacking the zone, and he was throwing strikes. We couldn't really put anything together when we had opportunities around the bases. Yeah, I couldn't just get it done.
You talked about how this offense has had its highs, had a few lows. I mean, what is the feeling when you guys have a game like this tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like we could have done a better job offensively tonight, like putting better swings on the ball early. He was attacking the zone, he was throwing strikes, so we couldn't capitalize on that. I just feel like day like today, we just have to flush it out and come back tomorrow and try to win the series.
Just look at the last couple of weeks, it seems like the situational opportunities has kind of been an area that's popped up where you guys have struggled a little bit. Like, what do you kind of put your finger on with that, and how surprising has that been for you guys? Considering how you kind of define yourself as an offense.
Yeah, for me, it's kind of locked in a little bit more on the approach instead of like trying to solve your own swing. Sometimes we go through moments where you struggle and you're trying to get yourself out of it and kind of forget a little bit about like what are you trying to do in this situation. So sometimes a hit is not the answer. It's a good at bat that you have to have, and sometimes we all go through those moments. And tonight was for me that I got opportunities, and I mean, I haven't been swinging the bat well the last week or so, and I was just trying to get a hit. And sometimes just keeping the line moving is better. But I feel like when you press and when you're trying to do too much in that situation, the results are not going to be with you. So looking forward to have another opportunity tomorrow. And obviously it's good that this thing is happening in May and not later in the season. We have time to recover and continue to work hard to get better.
We're competing, grinding, stepping up, knew exactly what we needed, and we couldn't have for a better performance. That was pure grit right there. I don't really care. I really don't care. It was exactly what we needed. Swing and miss, but he was ahead in the count. He was inducing contact early. We played some really good defense behind him. That's just what we needed. We needed him to get deep in the game, and couldn't get better than that. Yeah, that was a good fastball in, and Walker just got the barrel out and kept that ball fair. We need a little spark, a little slap like that to Ohtani early, just to get us going, just to get one run across the board, score first, and then Shoemake, a little Oklahoma, getting an opportunity to play, stepping up, picking up Carlos, picking our team up. Yeah, he suffered a little left ankle injury in the cage prior to the game. He was just getting his swings in and suffer, while he was taking a swing. He's going to see a foot specialist tomorrow morning. So I'll have more information for you guys tomorrow.
Con la condición actual, o sería abierta de Carlos Correa, ¿hay alguna razón o especulación que pueda surgir sobre la necesidad de acelerar la rehabilitación de Jeremy Peña?
No.
So also, Kane coming in and getting some big 6 outs there. So those probably feel like 6 of the biggest outs.
Yeah. We went into that game mapped out that way, just him and De Los Santos kind of giving us between 4 and 6 outs, between the two, just trying to get us through there. And Jason was going to provide the length if we needed it. And Brian he got all 6 outs by himself, and he was efficient in that first inning of work. Went out there and just got some big outs, big moments. That was a big win for his team. That was awesome.
今回も最後までご視聴いただき本当にありがとうございました。動画の内容を楽しんでいただけたでしょうか。もしよろしければチャンネル登録と高評価をお願いいたします。皆さんの応援が今後の動画制作の大きな励みになります。それではまた次回の動画でお会いしましょう。